Hi, I'm Jacob Fishman, and I came to talk to you about neon animation, specifically using Arduinos. And folks at Ventex came up with this little gadget. They call it their Ventex VT5520. It's for flashing and dimming neon. Now you look at this thing and you first look at it and you say, my God, look at all those wires. What am I going to do with this? Well, color code that tells us black is hot, white is neutral, and green is ground. These two strike me as the secondaries. And I'm going to hook it up to one of these. Hopefully, hey, it goes on. How do you like that? Here we've got these extra red and blue. What happens if we touch them together? Notice I lean back a little bit before I do anything like that because you never know what's going to happen. Nothing happens. They're open. They're shorted. Nothing happens. I want to make that thing flash. So I go and I find the data sheet. Came with it. This one's printed off the web. And you start reading. Flashing animation remotely, controlled via 9 to 15 volt DC signal. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean? So I decided that in the spirit of neon making, let's just try it. Let's just try it and see what happens. So what I'm going to use is one of these little state-of-the-art Arduinos. If I just fire this guy up, you'll see that there's two LEDs on it. One green that's telling us that it's on. The other one is a flashing yellow one. That's sort of a test circuit that they put right into the board, and they pre-program this with a program called Blink. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see if it'll flash. We got a red, which I'm guessing is positive. And we got a blue, which I'm guessing is ground. Now there's little sockets on here and they're kind of hard to see, so you'll have to excuse me. I need my readers. Okay, we connect the wires up, and there we go. A simple flashing for a neon. So that's the flashing part. Now, what about the dimming part? Again, I look at the specs, I see 9 to 15, I'm thinking, my God, I need a little amplifier in there. And then I decided, well, let's just try it, see what happens. This Arduino, you'll also see I've got these little blue LEDs hanging on the side of it. That's just a little circuit board with some LEDs on it. It's handy for testing, and you can see what it's doing. It's fading up and back. Get on to 9. And let's get on to a ground. Now look at that. Dimming up and down. There it goes. Dimming up, dimming down, which is wonderful. How does that work? It's not really making the LED go up and down. What it's doing is it's pulsing. It's giving different lengths of pulses. And they call it pulse width modulation. And what happens is there's a pulse, and the width of that pulse changes. The more that it's on, the higher power you have. The less it's on, the lower power you have. So we can visualize it by putting it on a oscilloscope. I got a little handy guy right here. So I'll attach the scope probes to the data output. And here you can see how those pulses are changing. All right, so that's how your basic dimming works. Let's take it let's take this step further. Let's add a second circuit. Here I've got another hand. And let's put this one into whatever the next output is. Okay, now let's see what happens if we Okay, here we go. Channel 1, channel 2, channel 1, channel 2. I'm using red in here because that's the worst case. You know, blue channel's a little better, but that's pretty good tracking. So that's how you do it. Should we look at the signals just for fun? Let's do that. There you can see the yellow trace is one circuit and the blue trace is the other. And you can see they're doing exactly opposite. So this gives you ideas. Once you get into the computer aspect of this, the changing, you can change your time periods as small as 1,000th of a second. So you can really tune things in. That's it. That's all I have to say. If you have any questions or anything, write me at Ventex. We'll see. Maybe they'll forward it to me. Until then, Jacob Fishman saying so long and leave a light on for me.